Emma, Sean, well, since I came to you last, we've actually gone in for a quick drive now that the sun is up to see the entire area that we are here in Pacific Palisades. And what you see behind me is exactly what we have been seeing across the entire neighbourhood right now. It is apocalyptic, for lack of any better words to describe this. 17,000 acres are currently being affected by these wildfires that have completely ravaged this area. The Palisades fire is already the biggest, most destructive fire in Los Angeles history. And what caused these fires to get so big was the lack of water that they had in the areas in order to be able to tackle them efficiently. Firefighters have been struggling due to the water shortages, even though 20 extra tankers were being sent to the Palisades region early Wednesday, but then were having to be taken out again and being refilled at distant locations. Their hydrants, well, the scores of fire hydrants in the Pacific Palisades had little to no water falling out, with all of them completely empty by 3 a.m. Wednesday morning. There was a need for 4 times the normal demand of water for more than 15 hours straight in the region. And before the fire, there was 114 tanks that were supplying the city water infrastructure, but unfortunately that still wasn't enough. Some of the local residents from different counties across, different areas, I should say, across the LA County have spoken about what it was like to have to evacuate their homes. Take a listen to what some of these people have said.
Wind whipped up, the flames were up about 30, 40 feet high, and you hear pop, 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 sound like a war zone. In fact, there were 2 big explosions that actually shook the ground. And so I knew it was time to get out.
The sky was just bright orange, and I go, we got to go now. And I think went at the right time.
There's time to be, brave, and there's a time to use some common sense. And common sense told me it's time to go.
All I can say is they can only do so much, because when that wind gets too high, there's nothing they can do except watch.
Now, you heard that man speak about the wind. Well, that is what has caused this as well. These strong, dry winds, which have carried the embers into other areas and have continued to spark new fires around the area. But you also heard that gentleman describe it as a war zone, and it looked like it was a war zone. And I can tell you from being in several war zones, that is exactly what it looks like. If I woke up here one day and saw what was behind me, I would think I was at a building in Ukraine having bombs dropped on top of it. That is what this looks like all throughout this region. This is just one of 5 areas which are suffering from fires, dramatic fires, and are being evacuated under these mandatory evacuation orders. So the firefighters are doing incredible work here to get some of these areas down like we have seen here, but these are still very much active fires, and these heroic firefighters are doing all that they can to battle these blazes so people can start working at returning to their homes safely. Emma, Sean.
Sarah, you have a camera operator. Are they able to pan around?
Absolutely. We can pan for you, Ian. If Ian will just quickly move, I'll step out of the frame and we can just show you what we have behind us. You can see that there is still... We've got another reporter right next to us as well, but you can see that there is still small fires burning amongst this rubble and smoke that is emanating from the debris. This was, I believe, a eyewear store or an optometrist. I can only tell that due to the burnt signage we can see on the ground that has pictures of glasses on it. But this is a very busy area. We're in the centre of the town. We're right across the road from the Palisades Mall, where a lot of that was destroyed, but a lot of that also saved as well. And when you go through there, it is just crazy to see how some buildings